Hey everyone, Cold Del Soda here, and today I decided to do something insane and torture myself by playing 3 N64 classics with the Wiimote motion controls. First things first, you're probably wondering how I'm even going to pull this off, and the answer is actually pretty simple. You just use an N64 emulator for the Wii called Wii 64. That runs a version of, I believe, Muppet 64, and it has an option to set your joystick to tilt controls. I'm sure there's a way you could do this on PC as well, but I just happen to have Wii 64 already on my Wii, so I just went ahead and did it on there. If you don't know, I've actually done this before on a different channel, and that time I was playing exclusively racing games. This time I'm just playing 3 different N64 classics. So starting off, the first game we're playing is The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. And my god, my experience with this was awful. But it's not the worst to come, trust me on that. But it was pretty bad and the controls definitely took some getting used to. The most difficult thing about it was trying to walk and then having to change your camera angle, and then that just ends up locking onto things with the Z target controls. That would happen to me quite often. I decided I was just going to play through the first dungeon, the Great Deku Tree, and yeah, this definitely took me longer than it normally does to get through this dungeon. Now, definitely the worst part about this was the boss fight with Goma, but I ended up winning that after several different hits. The next game we are playing is Super Mario 64, and my god, this was also pretty awful. I was pretty curious what it would be like playing a 3D platformer, and it was not that great of an experience. Luckily, I just mainly played Bob-omb Battlefield, so I didn't even have to deal with most of the platforming in Mario 64. To be honest though, it wasn't even that hard playing this. And I'm very surprised on how responsive that Wii 64 made these controls. The most difficulty I had with this was trying to get that red coin that's on that slope at Bob-omb Battlefield. I had to climb over and over again until I realized I could just use a save state and not have to climb, but when I did finally make the save state, I ended up getting the red coin anyways. So I did all that climbing for nothing. But in the end, it wasn't that bad of an experience. It was slightly more enjoyable than playing Ocarina of Time with these controls. And I know that some people have completely beaten Mario 64 with way stranger control schemes. But last and definitely the worst experience of all was playing Super Smash Bros. Good God, where do I even start? This experience was just plain awful. My god, this is probably one of the worst control experiences I have ever had in a video game. I did a little practicing and already could tell I was going to have a bad experience, and then I decided to play through one campaign with these controls. And good god, after several tries, I got through it. I played as Donkey Kong because I kind of figured he would be one of the easier ones to control with these controls, because I usually play as Donkey Kong, so he's one of the characters I'm more used to, but good god, it was hard to do so many things. It was hard to time your motions with buttons to use your recovery. It was really difficult. For some reason, I could not get under platforms that you could drop under. I got stuck on board the platforms. I just could not get down. Kept flicking the remote down, trying to get through, but I just couldn't. And when I finally did, I barely had any time left. And don't even get me started on break the targets. But also for the missions where you have to take down multiple enemies, I just did the classic multi-man melee move. If you don't know what that is, it's just slapping the ground over and over. But I finally got through all the fights after having to restart, and then I made it to Master Hand. Fighting Master Hand wasn't the worst experience of this game, but I did have to continue twice. And one of the times I was very, very close to winning. But out of all 3 of these games, Super Smash Bros. Was definitely the worst one to play with these controls, in my opinion. In conclusion, do I recommend any of you do this? Hell no! Please do not put yourself through this experience. like I did. This was just an experiment for me to show to you so you can know not to do this. So don't go through this torment like I did. But if for some reason you decide you want to do this, I guess let me know what your experience was. I don't know if I'm going to want to do this with any more games, but I guess comment down below if you want me to, and I'll consider it. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and consider subscribing to the channel. I'm Cole Dal Soda, and I'll see you in the next one.